Above the clouds there must be freedom, as a German song states. Yet like flying holds limitation, so does starting a business venture. My name is Franzi, and with the following presentation I would like to introduce the role of liberty for entrepreneurship. The authors are Christopher Boudreaux, Boris Nikolaev and Peter Klein, all of them having their research interest in entrepreneurship. Boudreaux is an associate professor at the Florida Atlantic University, holding a PhD in economics from the Florida State University. Boris Nikolaev is a PhD assistant professor of entrepreneurship at the chair of Peter Klein. Peter Klein himself is professor of entrepreneurship and corporate innovation and department chair and director. Since its publication in 2019, the article has been cited, according to Google Scholar, 89 times. The Journal of Business Venturing has an impact factor of 7.59 and a VHB ranking of A. The main topics dedicated of the journal is about entrepreneurship. Doing so, the articles approach the subject matter also on a multidisciplinary, cross-functional and cross-contextual sphere. Being commonly perceived by a vast amount of academia, motivation and performance achievement are related to individual socio-cognitive mechanisms, as entrepreneurial self-efficiency, outcome expectation and personal goals, which in turn affect the likelihood of starting a business. On the other hand, being widely accepted to be influential too, economic institutions as competitive markets, banking systems and property rights indicate effect likewise. Yet according to the authors, the literature misses to systematically analyze country-specific institutional contexts in relation to individual socio-cognitive traits. Thus, with a given paper, the authors aim at identifying reinforcing effects and dynamics by addressing the research issue on a quantitative empirical study. In order to generate insights, the economic institutions are operationalized based on the notions of the new economic institutions. Hereby, Williamson's conceptual framework, among others, indicates 4 overall levels of institutions. At the top level, informal institutions, as customs, traditions, or religious norms are grouped. The second level categorizes formal institutions, indicating the rules of the game, putting formal requirements and constraints on actors, and thus are related to regulatory policies and government effectiveness. Governance, the third level, are the actual play. In other words, how government structures align with rules emphasized, which in contrast to informal institutions may change rapidly. And finally, resource allocation, including entrepreneurial engagement, is determined by the previously named levels. As entrepreneurs are determined to generate returns while accepting risk, especially level 2, formal institutions affect how profits are attained and distributed. Respectively, formal institutions as business, credit and labor regulations put constraints on human behavior that consequently affects individual socio-cognitive resources and thus pursuing potential business opportunities. For the matter of analysis, formal institutions are operationalized based on the economic freedom of the World Index that captures how supportive each governmental policies and institutions are. As we already heard, the author's objective is to systematically address the interrelation between socio-cognitive traits that affect and moderate human behavior and the formal institutional environment that moderates and indicates to have an effect on career choice behavior as well. Basically the idea of the new institutional economics. Respectively, formal institutions are portrayed as constrained to human behavior, facilitating or impeding socio-cognitive resource allocation towards entrepreneurship, plus institutions determine the actual reward gained from entrepreneurial actions. To make it short, limited socio-cognitive capacities shall be aligned in such a way to generate the most reward given the present entrepreneurial constraints. As indicated by the figure, economic institutions moderate socio-cognitive traits and thus entrepreneurial engagement. As socio-cognitive theory proposes effects on motivation and performance, entrepreneurial actions are to be addressed as follows. As beliefs in one's own capabilities and skills influence not only performance but also motivation and thus resilience, perceived self-efficiency is, according to the authors, of major relevance when predicting entrepreneurial entry. Secondly, according to socio-cognitive theory, individuals are future-oriented, which is constituted in their motivation to be fulfilled. Wherefore, clear goals not only facilitate but also encourage a sense of purpose, motivation, and provide direction. In the given context, entrepreneurial alertness is therefore the perception of potential business opportunity, possibility of profit generation, and often basis for forming new ventures. Consequently, entrepreneurial alertness to potential business opportunity increases the likelihood of becoming an opportunity-motivated entrepreneur. However, being skilled or aware of an opportunity and taking that opportunity respectively, fear of failure in relation to the willingness of taking risk is certainly related to entrepreneurial actions. As negative feelings are aimed to be avoided, close business and personal identity as seen by entrepreneurs, the fear of failure decreases potentially the likelihood of becoming an opportunity-motivated entrepreneur. As entrepreneurial actions do not happen in a vacuum, the moderating role of economic institutions emphasizes while having similar cognitive resources, but actual framing situations altering entrepreneurial actions on the contrary. While having strong self-efficiency, yet the institutional framework might have limitations, both, might it be of arbitrary government or limited quality of institutions, are to be considered when taking entrepreneurial actions. Thus, the economic freedom positively moderates the relationship between perceived self-efficiency and opportunity-motivated entrepreneurship. Uncertainty creates a sense of doubt, wherefore recognition of opportunity is limited. Governmental caused uncertainties therefore indicate legal uncertainty and pressure inhibiting new ventures. Consequently, economic freedom positively moderates the relationship between alertness and opportunity-motivated entrepreneurship. And finally, economic freedom is expected to positively moderate the relationship between fear of failure and opportunity-motivated entrepreneurship. A robust legal system makes planning for returns more secure. Testing the introduced hypothesis, Boudreaux and colleagues retrieve on the dataset provided by the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. Doing so, they had the possibility to draw on a large sample of more than 750,000 individuals from 45 countries. Following the definition by the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, entrepreneurship is any attempt of new venture creation, including self-employment and expansions, preceded by individuals, groups, or businesses. Especially for the matter of analysis, opportunity entrepreneurship being pulled towards promising and autonomous rewarding entrepreneurial actions is focused upon. Necessity-motivated entrepreneurship is tested for reasons of robustness, yet not provided by the paper. Independent variables as Economic Freedom Index measures the country-level variances of governmental, legal, monetary and trade regulations. Also drawn from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, surveys constitute the measure of socio-cognitive traits as self-efficiency, opportunity alertness and fear of failure. Furthermore, other controls of personal and country-level issues are tested. So does an individual's education support entrepreneurship, gender, financial capital and age are included as well. Moreover, country-specific economic development and population suggest potential effects as well. Bearing all this in mind, proceeding in various linear modeling methods, country-level variables are expected to affect individuals' likelihood of an entrepreneurial entry. Looking at the results, the individual's origin matter with respect to the economic freedom. So do the results indicate a 9.3 variance between the country for entering entrepreneurship. Economic freedom matters. Wherefore the results state that with 1 unit increase in freedom, a 29% increase of opportunity-motivated entrepreneurship is expected. Similarly, expectations about socio-cognitive traits to matter for entrepreneurship are confirmed. Interestingly, fear of failure indicates decreasing odds of opportunity entrepreneurship by 33%. Conversely, superior economic freedom seems to encourage entrepreneurship even in relation to fear of failure. Moreover, self-efficiency, alertness to opportunities become strong predictors for entrepreneurship. Also, confirmations might be identified when people are coupled with similar socio-cognitive traits given better institutional surroundings. Summing it up, the article provides indicators that pro-market institutions have a positive effect on opportunity entrepreneurship. Additional tests indicate that especially property rights, courts, judicial independence, as well as low business, credit and labor regulations foster entrepreneurial actions. Consequently, it is possible to confirm that, for instance, weak governments and lower returns discourage even not afraid business alert entrepreneurs from entries. Aside from that, the article contributes to entrepreneurship theory and public policy, which as a consequence draws the attention to enable people to use their entrepreneurial social cognitive resources and even encourage success confidence, Moreover, an optimal institutional framework shall be proposed, as even if people have superior self-efficacy, yet this can be suppressed by an inadequate institutional environment. And further, making people to invest in their intellectual capital and financial capital shall be addressed too. Limitations to the performed study are proposed with regard to the sample, as the countries analyzed range from the medium to high level economic freedom. Secondly, the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor is only a snapshot in time. Also, subjective self-evaluations about socio-cognitive resources are emphasized. Moreover, cultural dimensions as affected socio-cognitive resources, as for instance uncertainty avoidance, might indicate interrelations between formal and informal institutions too. Coming to an end, as the author stated, being alert to opportunities and taking that opportunity are two different things. Moreover, the authors could have even gone further by providing concrete measures to foster entrepreneurship. Also, the role of informal institutions shall be evaluated in the future. Thank you for your attention and looking forward for your questions.